to the last end. It was built for 1,000 people. Total 1,000. In all. But they divided the dungeons into 5. This is 1. It means nipa 200. Ewaha. Na kania eniho. Tina medum kania ne kakra. Sana be a ubehu said ya na etie. So this house windows. Ema nipa 200. Nipa cho yekum kakra yekum. So some of them got blind. Immediately you can't see properly. When you bear bibisa. Some got blind. We share brick form now. Who bricks? Bricks when nobody say dino. Omudi we if you brochi by. They brought this to balance their ships to Africa. When they were going, these slaves has balanced away. Now some reno slaves no. Oma toilet facility or urinal. Omo ni tiefi. Omo ni bibia mo omo ba jinso ago. Inti se jinso di obi a they go to toilets here. So person toilet one. We be jinso wa ha. Na mo da have to 3 months. 3 months because of the ships. We have from her, we have some trenches. Because from Makwaba, Mumra Mekan, Bamuya Kum, de Bianiho. Trenches we got an Omuya and says Samujun Soa. Just on the film into the sea. But Edumrebia, this place was smelling. So the slaves started fighting the white people. Oh, Yabrofunu me blended. Yabrofunu so they started fighting. So those who were fighting, Abrofunu no select woman. They don't want finu hua. They are baha. And so share baby sisters ijana. Omo created door ha. Okay, door. It was they put the door there. So those who were fighting were locked up here. And see, omo frere ha strong room. Nti kwesi broni eme prapra ibinu. So toilet na sha say pilot. And then mo toilet, omo be tiatia so. Mo ba chiramba ye bi aka ho. Kakra sa edumre bia bricks no mo de say dan no. Ni nyina ayirai. Ebinu be ye ti say nentwi ni bi. Hu nentwi bum. O say bibi wo kasa. Sa na ha be nti me be kirew the way it was nti misramo. Ma mo de sa mo nyina mo komo chisi. I want to show you that one. Monkomochi. Big boss. So ko check kama why. Kwala no. Ida se mo be call say. Monkomochi kakra. Until you move, we can't see what I want to show you. And say, please, can it monkomochi kakra say. Monkomochi kakra mo. Monkomochi kakra. E ye mo bia move you. Stay where you are. Mon share wall here. Look on this wall, but look down. Don't move. Stay where you are. You can see some lines on the wall. We say I'm marking wall white. Like this. Lines, you see. Because they were not cleaning. Toilet, no, eba maybe do this height. From the bricks, it do this height. Line about it do say. It be so near, it do this height. Biwaha. Bricks in Irai. But 1974, 50 years ago, University of Ghana, Archaeological Department, came to do excavation. To form her. And so home bricks way. So these are archaeological labels from 74. And see, they clear all the waste. But omujaka krebi, so that generations yet unborn to come and see. Nenu ewa me bechrew. And see, so share baby a fancy ya. Say the homa betra. Inside hona bibi wo. Mumunjira mamu move. Mom what's this? Mum bem hakakana hadi. Don't block the light. That's why I say don't move. Share. How say baby wa. This is not the same like the bricks. Yes. I believe you can see the difference. This is solid waste. Hana sana flonity. Until you away for generations to come and see. This was tested because the content. Ne enu chere say toilet room, jinso room, efie room, nyama bebre. Nti na ya bo ho ban se na be a ye wuko a chima muso mabehu. So this solidified waste. And ahano slaves no Omo didi once in a day, sometimes twice. Aduane kakra no mo de abrɛ omo just to keep them alive. And it says here we are done with the first dungeon. We are moving to the second and then the third. Yeah, into bar. Move in here or here. Abrant here. You don't speak to it? Don't stand at the entrance. The entrance is for all of us, so don't block the entrance. If you enter, move left or to the right, please. Boy in a Ghana shirt. Bra, come in. Come forward. Please look at this floor. Can you see bricks here? So this is what? This is solid waste. Munti ni ye power. Way. Bricks be aniha. Then ananum mejana eno. And I yes ayo. I say fertilizer. Bricks was here. And this is the last one, which had 200 slaves. So out of the 1,000, by the time they were ready to go with them, a lot died. But those who survived, they were not free like us. Always they put them in chains. There was a hole at the back of this white cloth, underground tunnel. So they forced them through the tunnel. They don't call door of no return. But the tunnel was closed by one British governor, a friend, Captain George McLean. I will show you part of the hole. But here it is closed. Because some of them were sick and weak, but the place was smelling. Into the sick ones, they will select them. They don't a small hole to go and wait, just to allow those who are strong to go through the tunnel to the ships. Instead of creating window way, because I'm rena can hear any ho. It's a way for them to see who's sick and who's not sick. So this place was called selection room. It is when the stronger ones leave, those who were sick, they don't want to pay her, but because they were not given any medical attention. Portuguese no started slave trade, but then you have starting Elmina. The time I know Elmina, they were occupying this land, but they were doing their slave trade at Elmina. They started in 1482. But British got it 1664. So close to 200 years later, we move away. And see, Elmina Castle. Elmina Castle was built as a warehouse to keep gold, ivory, and spices. But later it was converted into a dungeon. But this one was built purposely for slaves. That is why Ahano is different. Elmina dungeons, you can go in without light. So this was built at the peak of the slave trade. This is a shrine in before Busum. Now before Kwesi Bruni, remember Africa with Christianity and Islamic religion are Arabs. So the Saudi Arabia the Bible. Now Africans, we pray to God through smaller gods by offering of libation. I mean, until before Kwesi Bruni Besi Castle, 1665. Now Fetus who were here, the Fantis, they had a shrine like this around this part of the land. When the British came and occupied the space, and they built the castle, they stopped the locals from coming closer to offer their libation. The local people came for the shrine to that community. No Kwesi Bruni Koeno, Amusani Baha, Mundi Baha 1960. Your friend way Nana Tabil, Cape Coast, and Wabosum Marco, 77. Nana Eyabako. And according to the traditional listing, we're near the highest of all the deities. And say, Uhuha say, Nema be because we're in the festive mood. And the pay mood in the Chima by year, a mamma baby. And then I'm about to win more. You know, my back was you know, I says, say, it does be free more. We're the tuning that show. Nancy, na higher mat near cleaning a akotugui. And just be a near tin says slaves no more fear coin. The actual people didn't get the chance to come back alive. But almost wako mau. So my safe one, if America, Jamaica, Europe, Caribbean, Brazil, every day. So mobile do more rounds like this. In fact, almost soon ye pa. After that, no more be bomb pie. Muya kumadi, bit me da hama de chin. After that, no more the way be Google in the memory of our ancestors. Intina, flower see, who know why. Since the sun as a security. See who person who are betting about me. After that, it may be a bonting. Obia bet me the Yaba. Obia. Oh, what bar as instruction? A boy 2 days, 3 days, no Ghana. But you might show and what's a call. By being so near to Ghana. But be now you want to walk out as tourists. They only come for a visit and they go back. Yeah, and then they are not tracing their roots. Be more crab so many times. But one thing Emma they find it difficult locating their families, the names. When they were taken away, they didn't allow them to maintain the African name that we have. Because we know that Ubo Gan name or name so this person is from the Ghana. Ubo Asante Dia, be name say we fi Asante. Ubo Kwewuni, be name say we Kwewu, we Enzima, we Dagomba. But they were not allowed to maintain these names. In Samumba, they have all these Abrofo names, you know. It's becoming difficult to trace the sanity. You ever saw no? What the Bible buy no? You na nanum wu a, when you kese we. And near by the barrier ground. Omu wu a, omu dos no mu wu a. They will pick them. Omu ampuka sample go fa omu. They will authorize the African to go and pick them. Omu dos sometimes they put them in sacks. Near the cannonball way. Ebi they are chichire, omu da homa besem. Nom they are chichire. Now omu the boat, omu cock kakra, nom they drop them into the sea. See, for about close to 400 years now, and say Bibini I say only where away enemy. But Kwesi Broni Nyakokudro, Wakaja say what Cape Coast, there's a place called Bakano, behind Cape Coast. The Hono Musi or Mumun Kofo. See, on our land, they throw our dead bodies into the sea, and they bury their dead bodies on our soil. Maybe if you ban in the that's where the selection room. That's a window. Into baby and a cannon say way. Ho be was here. Straight to the ships. Where you saw dine. The one with the blue windows. And the church. Which is on top of the dungeon. Into Monjana and then can we want them. Where grapes. You see in Kofobi Briwaha. Or be a where be a friend of Philip Kweku. Mejidi say what if Philip Kweku in the The name is Kweku. Kwesi Broni corrupted the Kweku into Kwaku because they couldn't pronounce our names properly. Nipa we, ni papa, any abrofunu ye juma. Samre no. Because of that, abrofunu fa ne ba no ko England. Only 3 boys. Philip, Thomas, and William. The other 2 died. But Kweku survived. British trained him as a pastor and a teacher. Came back to the country, then Gold Coast as a pastor. Was assigned to preach in his church. He preached to mulatto children. Kweku ni abrofunu ye juma for the rest of his life. Or we October 17, 1816, now we 75 years. The son is said, "Oni wamu ye juma nti no musi no ha." Into this Philip Kweku, who later became Reverend Philip Kwaku. Obakromo I was school sir. That was named after him because colonial time when he came, he promoted Western education. Then can you say? But me in some way there I brought there. So you can see that even in death there was separation. But see brother bibi ni na sha hono abrofo so na sha he. Nti ya mamu ngira machi. Ngira mpeza me humanim. Nti bibi ni abrofo so nie. Nti we there e kira obibi o. We be a friend CB Whitehead, or a British soldier, or we 1812, now I'm 38 years. I bet him na ni madi pote kum CB Whitehead. We be a friend of George McLean, Martin McLean in there. McLean Baha 1830. Ono never man order say yen block it tunnel. Before McLean be no, na nipa fa tunnel to the ships. he closed the tunnel. The same man started court for her. Well, maybe I try McLean's honor. Because slave trade occurred in Africa 400 years. After that, British colonizing Ghana, colonization, every year so for 113 years. Until Kikabumwa, Abrafia high for 513 years. In the colonial time, we know the capital of Ghana was in Cape Coast, Saukai. It was moved to Accra 1877. Before Accra became the capital, Nehoya Court, first court. The same McLean was the architect of the bond of 1844. McLean has 17 years. Unimadia ku McLean. Tuntum Winamun Uwi. He died 1847, no 46 from malaria. Where McLean is your friend Letitia Elizabeth London, and he was the only African and only white woman who came to the castle during the entire period of the trade. About 2 months per in a year. We na it be said in Tuntum in the Kun within 2 months on arrival. It be said because McLean Asha castle her for years, and McLean wasn't going to England again. McLean has gone in for an African woman called Miss Barnum from Accra. So when Letitia came to hear of that story, out of jealousy, she took some poison and killed herself. And last one, Sonny just said, McLean was going out with. They said the woman was a beautiful woman. And she wanted to have McLean forever as the husband. So when Letitia came, the Ghanaian woman posed as a servant, then poisoned Letitia so that she'll get McLean to marry. So these are the theories surrounding the death of this lady. So till now, me nimadi potekuno. The last one. Yeah, there are books to this effect. There are books. You know, Pastor Tobia. I was on metro. Until we are then a come Letitia. This is a reservoir. This was built by Europeans. A young man for about 20,000 gallons. Niamu yeni say insio toa, insio no efisro. Can see pipes you are down. Into they harvest all the water. Namu dia shaha. And no namu dia bibia pipe ni ho. The way rain harvesting. I'm going to say capability 92. Capability 92. When you know ha say, okay we chia, boku baby your coin, baby na windows no one. I may say omo selection no. So from there the stronger slaves, they don't come outside, they go through a hole. So hole no what I say all the way to the ships. So we are on the top of a big hole. Where are cannons? Cannon there a weapon to attack other white people. This ones are their bullets. So this one they call them cannonballs. This ones are cannons. But say obi e fantini wa ha. Oni me we fantifo no friend. Oni me dem friend. Na na fantini wa. Ye fantinya. Pacho ati meje tuman tumom. Nko sonche maba. Meje tinoni. Meje tu kashen. Meje tuman tumom. Nko sonche maba.
Then na say even abrofun woni ho kra no tina ha. Onyim dey say orukọ no ankra oyin betu.
Thank you. Thank you, my brother. You are right. Okay. Move 2 minutes. Break time 2 minutes. After that, we continue. If I try tunnel any. This is the tunnel. So where I started to be a shrine one. We were on top taking pictures not long ago. You see, I'm on the straight to the door of no return. So I had a check-in point where they check on them. And this place also gave them some air. So from the beginning to the end, these two are the only openings for light. You can enter. You speak the tree?
Yeah,
Oh, you can in?
yes.
I see. Hurry up. No, you do of no return yet. You about share the end of the tunnel. And I'm calling him kakra. Mukomo nim kakra. Mpacha obi anhwe ni say baby am disappoint you. Ho no ne kase ni and aha na anopem. Nti almost start fe no ho a the length is 80 meters. 80 meters awapa almost 100 meters. Nti omudu ha at first they will go this way to the ships. But epuno eya na epuno by inside. See, Abrafuno blockade the other side. No more create quantity to her. So from here, instead some back on the say no, no more pia for her. But this side was blocked by McLean when the trade stopped. So like Emrabium. On your son where so Uber so.
But you need to be over this.
You saw just you're in a watch your but Oya Kalan it in a pia but tell about you. Yanko, please let's go. Mahu somu no said it aha aye madia nti man ye 300 nti 150 wa ha say 150 in the other one and my 1000 nti total 1003 nanka yemfa munyekom yemfa ma as slaves because slaves no ye omo fi West Africa to go and work for the Europeans in their farms in Americas and Caribbean from North America to Central America, South America, and Caribbean. Because Papa be a friend of Christopher Columbus. Or also discover America, but no truth. So Okansa no Spanish for the Spanish move from Europe. Move say from Canada through America, United States, down South America and Caribbean. A quiet tune. The most shall some year fool. No more here ni pamudo bedo. I focus nti now nkofo no mu assassine mu de from there they call them the Red Indians or the Cherokees. So they said those people were dying, so omu here alternative to replace those people, so they came for us to go and replace them, to go and work. The sankan you can a form juma weeding and harvesting sugar cane, cotton, tobacco, rice, and kamemba. ENC and Kamudo Kakodo. By the man who call it, and the question is, do you know why? A practical question. Any book be amo. And person me saw here to do what? To breed. Thank you. To go and breed. And to get more. You see, Omundi man who call no way to give birth for 400 days. Nanipa a breedy. Family planning be aniho. But wasan. They use them to work 400 years. They didn't pay them anything. In this castle, nobody a member the same thing nobody a man waha. Member man who got toilets. Omujin so. Busomi swan man mu enyanim se muya debi. Your friend is saying? Obi say nyankopɔ tua mo ka every month. And yes sir, or say muji market tua every month. Nti they pass their menses here for 3 months. A man chuchu almost say, a man jale sanitary pad be in the hole for 3 months. And see, just imagine that. But upon all this, Kwesi Bruni, maybe before man and they die, they rape them. Because someone found my mind to man to me and some person by sana, Mamudastro, Yami Adumna, when they have a costro, Mudastro, my fish roho, Amaba see her, Mamma be die with an abacuno. Mafishi say, Una your bar who fair. Who janya soa na selective I pay baby more jolly. E do come bedroom na koye ho adwuma se dem pay. Se wan pene a na de wa ba sell ho monti ne yipa na betwe waso se na be o kira mba bapene. Na mo yesa na nti some of them got pregnant. Some be kono mo say oba we onyima omfa no nko. That is if they see they free those slaves. Because you see a dime or Cape Coast town using bricks mostly like this. They kept them there. They became free. They gave them everything. Oh, akwalano wia, o 3 year, you be free forever. And I say, you be share only akwalano. Akwalano nyindu pempensobia. Na aja akwalano fi unchain. Na de mamina baby as a slave. Unim kwesi be ni trimudia. Unim no nam Ghana hano ope japade aja okwa. Akobehwe ni minu. Na Omo wo mulattoes and I have cats. And omudi ni tutu womo. Inti na oba mpoano ha baby abrofo no betrain. We have light skinned people. And Kafobia more surnames be to say Johnson, Coomson, Ferguson, Wilson, Anderson, Lindsay, McLean, McCarthy, Bannerman, Brown, Bruce, Thompson, Bruce, Williams, all the sins. Abrafona se for no. Bebrebe sin, just a few. I know just a few. Let's go out. Bisa a question, Mitie. Bisa, ask a question. Ask your question, Mitie. Mention me, ask me, okay? I say then, my own catch and catch him. I say then. One dress is orange, young. Unfortunately, you're your home. I didn't know what you're not per se, but Mammy can. Man, a war. The big cry to cover the private part. I'm one saying, by now, I'm one saying that one. Nembano, maybe now young says, minimum simple. And then baby by friend string was a G string, and no motion. But a mamre munusako oko warrior bar. I'm one saying a kind of list no. And me too say mother why you there by a crew me. And say, and no, a mother cat am hasi. And no, a happy beer a go a bossy a bo. But member need dear Sabio. I'm 110% naked, Mrs. Yeah, dear, yan shashi. Remember, now you're whole. And see, I'm sanity. And see, I'm share one dress. Why? Dress in the Pobini Honomashe. Yeah, call inside her. This is a second sale, but this one we are entering into patriarchal tea. Oh no, let's go like that. Watch your heads. There's nothing to fear, but the fear itself. Keep your heads low as we enter the cell. And I'm saying there's nothing to fear but the fear itself. My minute, coin him. Me pau chow. Aha. Most of the hat here. Come here. And I see some chicasa. Mama be away. Who say show? I shall say do. Thank you. We see Bruni. Or your man, that they kept in the dungeons as slaves. Me can say mo toilet. Mo bedroom shop. In Maya menses. 3 months. Amun pia bontin. Amun jale. Until now amun bread. They were suffering. So some of them were fighting the white people. Slaves who were fighting, they were not stubborn. They were fighting for their freedom. They were fighting for their freedom. Now, bro, from the dungeon. The cell has 3 doors. We are there. Door back we are free. Back over the middle and the last one. I can't last one. You were a man lock door numpu. I hit a say I lock 3 doors. Now by my bell. That's how they killed them. They died through starvation. Till we a condemned cell. But today we are not dying. We are going outside. Till Madam confessed. that no see.
Obi a you too wonder.
Yes. Work it our weapons. And one day before be ejuma. And then the nyansu ye no more Ghana. Chinese no. Or say yensu no. Ye need to dey bet match na. Bad in try na yensu. Atase. Kepos bear some time pipe ma. This is soon in a wire Galam say. China for no why say yes no. When you Ghana for wow pambo. I don't need to mention. Maybe so. Thank you. See, when you been me your crew had them time, you know. What to me, and then Prince sign. Say Prince sign, mania. What I say? Into your phone. My Jaya. Na can answer for Jay. One yakum. And then I've decided to speak local language. Normally, we speak English. But, and then, me china bakakra. And say, any question? Oh, yeah. This wood was changed by our Osagifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. This was changed by our Kwame Nkrumah. Good. But they use wood. But Kwame Nkrumah changed it because slave trade cost 400 years. After that, colonialism have for 113 years. The said they were taking resources on this place to England. And so they neglected these structures. So when you get independent, Kwame Nkrumah will say, no, that way, that's about why you mind. And say, but my contract, no, the floor was wood, it was rotten. They changed all the wooden floor. Year restoration work. Intina and there put me back a beshare. The Kwame Nkrumah no why dear. But I will honor baby say ya names we sister. This are net here. Aha a Palava Hall. Palava. What's a Palava Hall da? What's a Palava da? I have Palava Hall. But what's the Palava sauce that? Daddy, want to say something? Shmunti Nipa. Palava is a Portuguese word. Palava came from Portuguese. Meaning near trouble, confusion, chaos, etc. But a auctioning block market. Maybe I'm where they auction the slaves. Na me ba be kire kwan ye fa so nya bibifo no fie mu fie ansa na mo de mo nante kwan sen bebre mbedu kase ha no mo ba di o ano ase wako market ukoto bayire ukoto emo na nipa na bobo na mo di ano ha no mo di nipa na no mo wi a na ya hye o mo nso de mo kodanjene for 3 months. There were several ways of getting the people. Kwesi broni be physically using guns. Uma yembe kakra. Ofu ya ba shechi amu so umu kasa. Hola. Mo friend am buy. We are cry. We ain't crying. That's it. Okay. What's say? Numbem waka come from our Nentuaso. And say we are discussing how they got the slaves. Me see Kwesi Bronichi be physically using guns. Numbem kakasana be a bet me a team. Kwesi Broni be bini ye juma to get other people as slaves. Statement we what you say. As a training saying. It was school until when the man wapija was Hanawaka. You see, there were some collaborators who helped Europeans to get other Africans. And besides, I would say, Uti saying in modern Ghana, 21st century, Uti saying, yes. Agent. Well. Yes. Who else?
Between us.
Come again.
The enemy of the black man is the black man.
It's a black man. In the 21st century, enemy no oyahwana. Okay. They work with some black people to get other people. If only be a wow because of your fronti. And then by 2 weeks, almost a month now. Keep was a young soon. Ya beti am say what I was say ensuo ni nyina ye galam say e den na China ni a odi ensuo we ato ye ensuo no so ntumi nchi no ima no
Because on penifo ni na ye
ni de minim wo na wo kan nti ebinim ene wo ye adwuma saa amre no na enya na nam no de koy nti pe what you are saying no abepim na hwe nsisan nti until we change this one on my way, a bet check, a bet bonfire check, a bet prayers are check, 3 inches. And see, that's what happened. Mutim, you were being swire from says slave raiders, like armed robbers. You bet we can mention names like Samori and Babatu. Babatu was killed in Yendi by the Dagbon people. I mean, like armed robbers, like Atai in Kofun. Abrafonu, when they got it, they identified them. So they gave them guns, sardine, sugar, tobacco, mirrors, other things. These were the goods they brought in exchange for slaves. So, intina abepim neno be before ye numwa ye the dead bibi afia brochi babia bibi ni ye ne de obedi. Mo ho. What was it? What then? Sardine, sugar, champagne, mirrors. Afasha do ye be num Guinness near ho. Omunum Guinness ana Guinness a short work post. Me na me catch you. This festival, what the year statistics? Ebe do Sunday. Guinness. Ebe sa. Person bring any buy. Into these raiders, after accepting these goods, they will go to villages. They will raid at gunpoint. They will capture people like us to the white men in a payment for what they gave them. Omo dada ebi ni mu nso se omo de omo kwa brochi for a good living. Omo nso egitum ekoye. And there human trafficking. Hwensisan yo. But near the majority by a ethnic conflict, intertribal wars. Na mejidi se unimpefe se before kwesi broni beba Africa. Na bibia ni my friend Ghana. Ghana just about 67 years old. Now you were kingdoms like Ashanti Kingdom, empires, African states. So Kramfoya one nation, one state. The Ewas the same thing, Achim the same thing, Asante the same thing, Nzima the same thing. So they fight each other over a boundary, sometimes over land. But before the white man came, they go to wars then with bows and arrow that they made locally. Omo they appear in a giant eko. Now for months. One side will lose the war. The losers will be taken as domestic slaves. They'll come and serve in their palaces. Those people, they had some amount of freedom. They acquired property. Later, they were integrated into the family system. Yamfa obi anhye danje mu sei. Yamfa mo anko abrochi forever. Yamfa mo anto chain mu. And I believe that system of slavery has been with human from time immemorial. Na me ma in fact to be in Ghana obetias obekai se enche bebre se wodi obi ka na wanya sika na antua, you can allow your son, your daughter or your relative to go and work for the person you owe for a number of years just to pay the debt. Okay. Inti na asante memo yo asemi amoka se obi nkyere obi ase. What is that? Kana na asante ni wa ha. Nobody's understand here. But what is that statement in that? And do you know what it means? Oh, you don't know the meaning. Echire se titi no pa no asante for in reality. Omo nye the tall ones like the one that we know today. Omo ye short. and they conquered the northerners, Dagon and ancient pharaohs. So they brought some of these tall ones from Dagon to serve them in their palaces. So because they wanted a crossbreed, they allowed the Dagon people to cross their women to have the height. Into Sani Pana and there, Oma crossing in and now be prominent people in Asante Memu. Say, oh, person, children, Asia, or be how. Tinesi, Obi in Chile, be a say. And my child history kakra. We don't go and misquote me somewhere. We are learning. Only mu history, I'll be here. Into snap, Oma system, we will have that. Into say, Uma Unmia, Ubako Sevoa, say, or your bano, or consume for years. No, onyini wo ho a na se nipa na osum wo mu no obi afim ewale na automatically or free ne ho from a slave to be part of the family, because there's no way I can enslave my wife. I don't think my brother can do same. We even had a system whereby say obi ko serve no ye bemba na owo ho na or ye lawyer and hard working to his master. The master no to me the property can trust the property into the hands of that person. In case the master no war, Sa Nipano arise from nowhere to be the head of the family. The first say, oya lawyer and hardworking. See, before Kwesi Broni Bebano, now way ewa Africa dada well established. Now yeah. But Oba no who said no, yeah, they no quite down. Into situation change quickly. They brought guns to the chiefs. They added a sardine to back when we give it to them. And the guns were brought to replace the then bows and arrow that our chiefs were using. And we know the power of the gun. That's how you know the power of the gun. They added the sardine, mirrors, champagne. They were giving to them. Munje. And Bibinim said these things were free. It was never free. Kwesi Bruni has no free lunch. Let me be frank with you. I'm one day back on Beji 100. See, when the guns get to the chiefs, they organize themselves, use their weapons to go and fight the other tribes. So they created the wars intentionally. So the more they go to the war, the end result was to get innocent people like you and I in exchange for sardines, sugar, mirrors, champagne. Sister, when I question Bruni, you see or the nya and nananum at the koye 500 years ago. Now say utraho now share their cost globally, including Ghana. Mr. Eden Assisa. You know the mabbe school pa maba a fashion school. Me dem minimo na wo kan. Yeah, to us. And then they maba fashion school. And see how much chifi some of them take it from Mali, Munti, Niger, Burkina. Ne dem maba Salaga slave market. What is Salagada? Tumu, Paga, Techiman, those places. When they gather them at these places, omunya numbers they don't want to chain. They start to walk from Salaga through Brongahafo region, through Kumase, Mudua. Oh, mommy, we are talking about 500 days ago. Na kawa infant, maybe so. Mudua Asemansoa, they had a stopover where they bar for the last time. From there, Mubeduka said, the Umbeko Palava Hoho. That was where they do auctioning. So because of auctioning, there was some misunderstanding between a buyer and then a supplier. That's why the word palava came. Material palava say, okay. After that, they'll brand them. They will design a mental stamp. They put it in fire. Yes, she and they are born pine. Because my toe, we are media. We are to so that was the market. But the same palava hall was where the bond of 1844 was signed. Let's finish that. Rasa. Oh, near Koso. Namodi aye. This is where the best is Africa. And Namodi aye. And ya 1 year, 400 years. Pietro, Dambi or a friend of Fort Williams. Oh, I know. Fort Williams. They said Duncan Williams. Nico Williams, all the Williams, that's the name of the fort. Fort Williams, no British, no Musie. They built that one for their soldiers. So soldiers were there looking from around whether other whites were coming to fight them. So they built that one to protect this castle. And they were supported by the cannons. One way, Anglican Church church na war dungeon no sro no. Eno na ewu we. That was built slavery time. This was built colonial time. We shall say ha, there were shops you ha. There are shops you rooms nyina na ye abrafo no mo soldiers barracks, high barracks. Ne was center na ye kitchen. Maybe atiti no mo ye aduane, aha, kitchen. Let's go to the court.
Those are the kitchen. Were they soldiers? Like no soldiers?
Yeah. No, they were made soldiers. The British soldiers. Soldiers ni ya abrafo. And soldiers they prepare the food. Mama bibi ni aye de na mama. They were thinking they would be poisoned. Court. When we were standing at the graveyard, I said colonial time. Capital no e Cape Coast, okay. Into a court and some of the capital no Accra, 1877. This was a court. Now when the court was here, maybe a barracks no ye first prison. Ti honor first prison and sana musi Ankafo prison. Omo the prison fi yakwa Ankafo 1992. Ti ho first prison. I first court. I saw that no omo the school and then broadcasting house. Into radio and school in Ghana started from the church. Court in Ghana started with her. Prison started with yard ho. Question be ho. Mama, what's in here? Okay. We are going to the last place. Before you go to the bedroom. Madam, we shall wait for your wife. We shall wait for you. If you look to the you can see the fort. Can see the Fort Williams from here. Fort no. Near Tennessee, Satana telephone ho. The soldier for our fort ho. It being so communication room every day. And so because the fort is on a hill, if there is an attack from any angle, those they will see, the soldiers they will see. So they will communicate to the soldiers in the castle through this hole. By raising up their flag, they could flash a mirror. In the night, there is light. Because there no telephone, so I have a communication room. We are going to the governor's bedroom. They give signals. I was from a fine a governor in residence. Wow. Governor in residence. Governor no. I be order. Casting in a penny or down no. I have the governor. I have in the living room. One governor, no wife, no girlfriend. If your windows are trying to 9 windows. You call bedroom. Aha, in the bedroom. And say, we shall have windows on one here. So 5 here. And a living room, no, I want 9. So 5 plus 9, yeah, he's my boy. 5 plus 9. 14. 2 so aha. And then me new 21st century, your living rooms. Our windows are here. 2. If you baby am dey before no egu ye. 1,000 holes small. Nipa baako. Over all these windows. 21st century, 2024. Africans, they were here. Eda ho awo ase ho. Ana ya basro kakra. Ana ya yira kra. Okay, let's go down. Aha a governor reception area. Let me cannot say. This is the reception area for the governor. Government reception area. So let's go down. Okay, my brother, I'm right, baby. Okoa, na waka to be no aba. Na me before yesua we ni anim a e be sesa Africa. Be sesa adwene. Oman ebe yiye. Na se anim a e be futu nyama saa e da ho agum. E bia ye gina we are just on top of the dungeon. Maybe I me kire mu say toilet nice in okay. You're on top of that place. Instead when you mra, mama shisha tables were ha. Mumbai chile in Sunday near Kikahuni, they will chill here. But at that same time, not before shall see a bread in a dungeon. Here, Danby war hall with a brown roof, and then the year that I saw Dino, the Anglican church. After all this, they'll go to the church. Way anyway, a security post. Now, if you look through the hole, you can see there's another fort far away from here, a friend of Fort Victoria. That was also built to protect this castle. This space is, each and every space had a cannon in it for defense. You look through the space, you can see a rock. Who say Abubabi or an abo. Castle in almost seen a board so like this. Foundation a board. It's in a ma other wire strong. Now, me person me show Elmina Castle from here, even though here who clearly, but we can see. We have look straight. Once assassin a curve to the far end. Once assassin a match to say me 1, 2, 3. Near war about a punano pano. And then Elmina Castle. That was built in the year 1482. When you that was built in the year 1482 under the leadership of one Don Diego G. Azanbuja. And you're 542 years old. This was built 1665. This is 359. And that one is about 183 years older than this one. So we a penny will be 183. Massa, which any pan penny. A horn of slave trade start here, and son of British BCW. Slaves from Elmina Castle. I'm call Brazil, Caribbean, and Europe. From here, I'm call North America. It be called Europe, it be called Caribbean. In Elmina Castle, the first and biggest European building in the whole of Africa. All right. Mema kwa was and bisa back me no be out me bisa me ya no na ye wie na ye pie na ye ko. Yes, that's our question is saying.
I am politicians. What our history is. Yeah, sometimes you need to trace your roots. That's why you have to say
I didn't call.
politicians say a bit bahana.
But your Munti me pa. Ebinum baha. But say omoba organize say e be a parliament. Amoshemra and even the like police service. Amoba force say military. Some are banning there. Massa, but anchor individuals. They say wabi they come. But you catch them. But say near cano omo the ye jumani there. Made them in him. Until they come individually, but say not organized. Amoba, MPs namoba. Everybody they come, but in their individual, they are on their own, Yes, Amoba, remember, but. He oh, that's how you know. But be a soldiers no barracks no. How I round sir. Into your call her. Nemakana na makano han. But you be no person can enter between. So finally, but you muntie me mama we na nyina nko. I said bi no ya bre. Ma we if say dan anya 359 years. Abanya 360 2025. British no mu see. But mu use yankasa nananum as laborers. Mu sending kakran. It went through demolition addition. Almost in over 100 years. Yes, 100 using bricks like this. Now they kept 1,000. Now cement in soon the whole. Unim no shisha dino. Unim oyster shells. Of course, you can compare. There are some seashells. Even yes, you crabby womb. By now they way in sway and the ammonia be. But in so no papa pano, unse, and Wabiano Tarebo. Most may be I don't say, and the they are dead and gone. And say they crash those ones on stones. Normally they are mixing lime powder. Normally they are fra and go cocoa near the gobeno. No, they are cement in your dynamo cement in your. Oh my, use iron also. There's no iron in the building. They didn't use cement. So they use grounded seashells lime powder, and then red oil. Teenagers in Yankopo, wa chayan bibiao. Seashells and biwaha. Lime powder biwaho. Red oil biwa bebre. But never want to cement, I want to mean sit down. Way no, way. And you know nobody see it. And say they kept 1,300 slaves in the castle. Mama 1,000, my 300. They stayed 2 weeks minimum, maximum 3 months. Slavery stopped 1860. Today the structure as a colonial administrative center. Now Cape Coast Castle is the youngest castle in Ghana. It is now a UNESCO heritage site. That was done in 1979. And as we tour the dungeon this festive season, ladies and gentlemen, it ought to be in the everlasting memory of the sufferings of our ancestors. May those who died here should rest in perfect peace. And those who love to return should find their roots, especially black people in the diaspora. And may man never again, now repeat, never again be given that opportunity to commit such atrocities against his fellow human being on this earth. On this note, if I may mark Tete and Yewi addition, Madam Massey, when you